Jesus is condemned. Mark 15, verse 1-5, and verse 15. As soon as it was morning, the chief priests held a consultation with the elders and scribes and the whole council. They bound Jesus, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate. Pilate asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" He answered him, "You say so." Then the chief priests accused him of many things. Pilate asked him again, "Have you no answer? See how many charges they bring against you?" But Jesus made no further reply, so that Pilate was amazed. So Pilate, wishing to satisfy the crowd, released Barabbas for them, and after flogging Jesus, he handed him over to be crucified. The crowd sounded like an ocean during a storm, roaring and jeering. I stared tensely at the priests and the Sanhedrin as they brought the man who was called Jesus to me. The priests and the Sanhedrin placed him in front of me. With as much authority as I could muster, I looked Jesus in the eye and asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus looked back at me, almost with pity. "Yes, it is as you say." Facing the crowd with appeal, I shouted, "I find no basis for a charge against this man." But the crowd started to rage and surge towards the platform. Shocked at their anger, I glanced at the priests and the Sanhedrin, who looked back at me with the same fire of the crowd. One of the priests stepped forward and said, "He stirs up all the people in Judea by his teaching. He started in Galilee and has come all the way here." "Aren't you going to say anything?" I asked Jesus with a bit of urgency. He was silent, and I couldn't help but be amazed. But the priest had stirred up the crowd, and they started to shout in one voice, "Away with this man! Release Barabbas to us!" Now, of all people to be punished, it should be Barabbas. All I wanted was for Jesus to walk free without me being displaced from my position. Sweat started to form on my brow, and my hands felt clammy. Feeling overwhelmed, I asked the crowd, "What shall I do then with the one you call the King of the Jews?" Without hesitation, they shouted, "Crucify him! Crucify him!" "Why?" I shouted in astonishment and fear. "What crime has he committed?" But the crowd was no longer listening to reason. They continued to chant, "Crucify him!" I felt a knot rise up inside of me as the crowd's chants got louder. I knew that if I didn't do anything, the crowd would. I looked at the priests, who were staring daringly at me with smirks on their faces. We looked into each other's eyes and knew there was nothing I could do to stop this without me being in the line of fire. So like a coward, I bent to their will. I released Barabbas and watched them lead the innocent man away. The King of the Jews would be crucified. Have you ever allowed others to talk you into something you knew was wrong?